Because to some extent, even though the topic is so powerful, embodied sexuality, at the same time, it's so absurd that we talk about that. Just because, why is my body existing? Because my parents had sex. I mean, sexuality is creating bodies. It's creating life on earth. So it's so weird that we as humans end up in the situation of talking about embodied sexuality, because there is only one reason why anything for you or for me can become disembodied / dissociated. And that is an unpleasant, overwhelming situation or experience in your body / trauma. So we are talking directly about collective and maybe individual sexual trauma when we talk about embodied sexuality. We are not talking about some kind of neo-tantric love, light, and fun, and I open my heart center, etc., etc. We are talking about, ladies and gentlemen, what has happened? What has happened to the moment that gave birth to all of us? Like what happened to us and when? And I ideally hope, of course, when I talk about sexual trauma, is that you yourself in your very body are not directly personally hit by sexual trauma. I am personally hit by sexual trauma. I know that the majority of people is hit by sexual trauma in this very lifetime. In most cases also in early childhood, going way beyond childhood abuse or child abuse. However, we are coming as the sons and daughters of a traumatizing and a traumatized culture to this evening. And all of that is written in our nervous system. It's written in our genes. It's written in this very moment. How I speak is written also in terms of inherited, passed on sexual trauma. So as always, when it is about trauma or disembodiment, we have the kind of idea in the background of, I can collapse, I can break down, I can give up, I can focus on something else than an orgasmic sex life. Or we can awaken the even more. Or we can sharpen our senses and sharpen our mind. In my experience, intelligence, which is also something so crucial for philosophy, love for truth, it can become so easily something so stupid, something so unnecessary, something so artificial, something so empty, soulless. Just because it happens from a disembodied state of, let's talk about it in some kind of wise idea, instead of sensing that I'm fucking scared of sex, that I'm ashamed, that I have no clue, that I constantly compare myself to others and think everybody else is better. So my invitation is, can we live up to a kind of embodied intelligence? I would say an intelligent intelligence by meeting in the field of wounds, meeting in the field of past. Where are you coming from? Where am I coming from? This so much more when it is about us. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, all of us secretly looking at, what can I do in order to create a happier future for my children, for my friends, for further generations? I'm very much busy with this question, to some extent day and night, and would love to sleep a little bit deeper and be a little bit less busy with how do we re-embody life back in our nervous system, back in our here and now, back in the point or back in the field, the unity where transcendence and biology meet, where flesh and blood and woundings and the mind and the brilliance and the genius meet. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in us sitting here, moving here, shivering here tonight in the field of woundings, where we are living up to a whole body intelligence that has been written in us, that is bigger than what I perceive as my IQ or anything like that with my whole nervous system since billions of years. Something so practical, resting, unlearning the artificial stuff, unlearning, forgive me my wording, the mindfuck, and relaxing into the intelligence that's just the pulse in my veins and the brilliance of my thoughts. And also when it comes to embodiment and sex, the immense wisdom and depth of sexual knowledge that we have